Hey there, welcome back. Well, today we're looking at a brand new type of camera for me. This is a Tapo TP-Link and it's the 675D, which comes packaged with a solar panel. Now, this is the first time I'm reviewing any cameras from Tapo, so really interested to see how they perform. We'll also be having a look at how we can rent this or mount this for renters where you're not screwing anything in. And then we'll also, of course, look at how this integrates with Home Assistant. Now, just to be upfront with you, Tapo did send this to me free of charge, but they didn't pay me any money and they have no control over what I'm about to say. So the Tapo 675D camera kit is selling for $229.99 USD. This is a dual lens camera featuring two different 4K camera options. The one camera at the top is giving you a wide angle view, and the one at the bottom here is able to pan and tilt and then is giving you a zoomed in view. The kit we're looking at today includes the camera as well as the mounts and a solar panel. The wide angle lens gives us a 169-degree field of view, while the pan tilt telephoto lens has a 360-degree tracking. Features include color night vision, tap and track to zoom, 24/7 continuous capture, and a red-blue light for sound and alarm. I really like the idea of capturing both the overall picture as well as the zoomed in picture. This definitely gives you the best of both worlds. The auto zoom tracking is a really great feature, and I'm really keen to see how it performs on this camera. Tap to zoom is another great option where you can see an object, click on it in the expanded view, and it'll zoom in. I really like that Tapo is offering subscription-free AI detection of person, vehicle, and pets. IP65 rating on the camera means that you can use it outdoors all year round. Local SD card storage is available for up to 512 gigs. Inside of the box, we get our mounting bracket, the camera itself. We get a charging cable, USB-C, along with some mounting hardware. Then we get our solar panel with its mount and pretty long extension cable, and then the camera itself. So the camera itself and the mounts are all made of plastic. The mount can be moved like this. So we've got a rotation that we can make there. We have two small antennas, one on either side of the camera. We then, on the rear of the camera, we have our USB-C plug that we can use for charging the device. We also, on the other side, we have our SD card as well as a reset and a power button. On the underside of the camera, we've got our PTZ. So this can move in both directions as well as up and down. And then if we have a look at this camera, we have both our lights as well as those red and blue flashing lights for the alarm, the camera with the microphones, and then the PIR detector over there. On the top piece, we have another PIR. We also have the main lens for the wide angle, and then we have our lighting and a microphone over there. The solar panel itself is rated at 4.5 watts, and then we have a 10,000 milliamp hour battery inside of the camera. The mounting system allows you to mount it either on a horizontal or a vertical surface using the mounting screws. I really like with this mount that you're able to mount it as a renter where you're not making any damage to the house at all. So I've used these two long black cable ties. I've just hooked it up to my drain pipe like you can see, and the camera sits there quite happily like that. Now, unfortunately, there's no way to mount the solar panel without screwing it in. So I came across this really cool 3D printed gutter mount. I will leave a link in the description below to this mount. It's not my design, but it is available for free on MakerWorld. I sliced the file and sent it off to my 3D printer, and within an hour or so, it was ready to go. It mounted up really easily onto my gutter in the perfect position. Now, there's no official Home Assistant integration to Tapo cameras. However, there is this Hex one that I downloaded. Now, before you connect it to Home Assistant, you need to go along here, scroll down to third-party services, select third-party compatibility and make sure that this is turned on. Now I've connected it up using the Hex integration. You'll see that we've absolutely got a massive amount of entities pulling through into Home Assistant. So we can control the floodlight over here. We've got access to the PTZ settings, patrol mode, siren, privacy. If we have a look at the streams over here, if we open up our stream, now I did notice that some of the other reviewers were saying that there were some issues with the streaming. So this is not specifically listed as a camera that has got the RTSP streaming. And as you'll see over here, it started streaming and then it stopped. And now it's started again. So I'm not sure if this has got something to do with the actual stream, or perhaps the Wi-Fi signal is not that strong where I've got the camera, but now it seems to have freed up again and it seems to be streaming pretty well. As you can see, the feed that's coming through is pretty good. We've got an absolutely fantastic color picture coming. That 4K is looking really good, I must admit. And now it seems to be streaming fine. There was that short stop or start and then it started streaming. Having a look at the second lens, which is the zoom in lens. Now this one doesn't seem to stream at all, but certainly the fixed lens seems to be streaming really well now. So that's good news. We've got a whole lot of configurations here. We can select the auto tracking, the alarm settings. We've got things like controlling the microphone volume. We can control the lighting. So from infrared mode to the fixed vision mode. We can control our person detection over there. We've got it's just amazing here. We've got our smart tracking. So this is our smart AI tracking that is built into the camera. So we could, for example, turn on people tracking over there. We can control the volumes, the intensity of the spotlight, individual control. Oh, that's interesting. I see that it is giving an error there when we try and control that one. So I'm not sure. I mean, this is a Hex integration, so sometimes you can expect some issues, but certainly they've done a pretty good job of bringing in a whole lot of those entities. Now, one thing that I did find rather frustrating with Tapo cameras was that there's no way to access the camera using a Windows application. You've only got either the Android app or the iOS app. So if we have a look at our app, we can switch between the modes. So this is our zoom in camera, and there is our wide angle camera. The nighttime picture is pretty good, and there you can see as the camera is following that guy walking past with his dog. So here we can see the camera has picked someone up in the wide angle view, and it is now zoomed into them with the zoom lens. I do personally feel that this feature of having a wide angle with a PTZ really gives us the best of both worlds. The beauty of this is you can see that the PTZ is also picking up movement outside of the wide angle camera, which is giving us that extra visibility. Having a look at the features on this camera, we can select our detection zones. So we've got auto tracking, which can be based on just motion, or specifically AI detecting person detection, pet detection, or vehicle detection. And you can actually go down and select the sensitivity as well. On the alarm side of things, we have our detection alarm. So we've got either a sound, light, or sound and light, and we can select between either white light or the red and blue police light, which I really like. I like the amount of detail they give you on the battery status here. You can see the battery level over there over the past 7 or past 30 days. We can also see the amount of power that's been used on the battery, the time of use, and then we can even see the wake up times over there. And then also we've got the actual energy output of the solar panel. Another feature of this camera is that it does offer 24/7 capture. However, if you're using a solar panel to charge this up, I would definitely think about how much power your solar panel is going to be charging every day. You can see here, one of the cool features here is that it actually has a capture interval. So instead of capturing 24/7 all the time, you can actually select how often you want it to capture a screenshot. So you could say only once every 60 seconds, or you could bring it right down to once every second. So in summary, my thoughts about this camera are that it's a pretty good value for money camera. It's offering you that 4K footage, which is really great, and it's on both of those cameras. Personally, for me, I would like to have a wider view on the overall camera. Having the 2 images is really good, giving you that full 180. Secondly, my concern with this Tapo camera is that Tapo has no Windows application for accessing the footage on your cameras. You have to do it on your phone or your tablet. So that for me was quite a non-starter. The Home Assistant integration, it's a HACS integration, so there are some limitations, and I would really like Tapo to be adding an RTSP stream to this camera so that we can access that footage more easily into our home automation systems. But other than that, it's a pretty good camera. It performs pretty well. Solar panel obviously tops up your battery. It's got the 24/7 recording if you want it. Personally, for me, the battery power was coming down pretty quickly, and it didn't look like the solar panel was going to top it up quickly enough to actually make that worthwhile. But personally, for me, battery cameras, you're generally just shooting on a when you're detecting motion. Anyway, that's all for me now. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.